In this video, I'm going to show you how you can transform the exterior look of your Model Y or Model 3 for only $30. Yes, that's right, only $30, and you can transform it into a different look that is very different from all the other Model Ys and 3s out on the road today. And all for $30. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is my Model Y that I just picked up recently. This is actually a 2021 model with the dual pane windows up front. If you want to learn more about it, make sure you stay at the end of this video where I'll link my other videos about this Model Y. But as you can see, this is the non-performance one. This is just the long-range dual motor, and it comes with the stock Gemini wheels. Now, one thing that always struck me odd about the Model Y and Model 3 is, why do the wheels come with hubcaps? This is a very expensive luxury car, and I never understood why these wheels have a hubcap on them. I always thought they were hiding some ugly wheels, ugly steel wheels behind it, which really doesn't make sense if you're talking about range, right? You want really light wheels for range. It always struck me odd that these 19-inch wheels had hubcaps on them. Well, for $30, you can make them look like this. These are the Gemini wheels if you take off the hubcaps. It boggles my mind that hubcaps are actually on top of these beautiful looking wheels. These are actually really good looking alloy wheels, and I'm not sure why they are covered up. Actually, I heard it's because of range. How the hubcaps do make it a little bit more aerodynamic, but still, this should be how it comes from the factory. Those hubcaps should be optional. So what I did is take them off, plasti dipped them to make them black. So yes, even though the alloy wheels look pretty good, I think black makes it even better because as you can see on the Model Y, everything is blacked out already. Black handles, black window trim, right? Black those camera things, everything on here is blacked out. So all I did was spend $20 on the center caps and the caps to cover up the lug nuts, and then I spent some money on plasti dip, and that's it. So for $30, you could completely transform the exterior look of your Model Y and Model 3. So next, let me show you what I did. So first, pull out the Gemini hubcaps. Simply give them a good tug from all sides and they pop right out. Look at these beautiful alloy wheels underneath. Now you can simply leave them like this too without plasti dipping them and just pop in some center caps and lug nut covers, but me personally, I like the black look. So next, if you go plasti dip, make sure you give your wheels a good wash. Remove all the brake dust before getting started. Next, find something to cover up your brake calipers and rotors. Honestly, the rotors getting a little dipped isn't that bad because they will burn off when you start braking. But do cover up your brake calipers. Now for me, I use some packing paper, but you can use a bag, a trash bag, or tape. Anything to cover up the calipers and the rotors. And cover up the hub opening and the lug nuts. Now the lug nuts you really don't have to cover since the caps that I bought go slide right over them. And honestly, it's easier if you don't cover them, as I've discovered later, because the tape that you use probably cover some parts inside that you have to patch later. So it's really up to you. Okay, when you're ready, start spraying. Now I know for those of you guys doing this for the first time, you'll feel really weird and awkward. It feels like you're about to ruin your wheels with spray paint. But trust me, plasti dip is not spray paint and everything could be peeled off afterwards if you regret it. More on plasti dip in a little bit toward the end of this video. Now with plasti dip, spray light coats all around and wait for it to dry before spraying the next coat. For me, I would spray this wheel and then I would move on to another wheel and then I would come back to it. As long as the coats are really thin, they do dry before you come back. Now remember, don't overspray and don't go too heavy. You don't want anything running. You don't want blotches on there. Just go with light coats and do many light coats until you're finally done. With every coat, it starts looking better and darker. So for me, after every 4 to 5 coats, I would move the car forward a little bit so I could spot the areas I missed and coat them. And every time you move your car, make sure you to adjust the paper or wrap inside because they'll probably move around a little bit. Now you might be wondering, what about the inside of the rim from the overspray? Well, honestly, since it's so deep and full of brake dust anyways, no one will see it. And if you're wondering about the tires, the same thing, the tires are black, you really don't notice it. Plus, you can always peel it off or wipe it off. If it's heavy enough, you could simply peel it off the tires. But if it's not heavy enough, you could go to an automotive store and buy a bug and tar remover, and you could use that and just rub it off your wheels. And you could do the same thing. You could rub it off inside the caliper if you accidentally sprayed a little bit on there, right? So plasti dip is very easy to clean up. You can not only wipe it off, but you could also just peel it off too. It's not like spray paint at all. Now the wheel is done, but as you can see, when I removed the tape around the lug nuts, you could see inside where it's clearly not dipped. It was covered up by tape. And unfortunately, you can't just spray the inside. It doesn't work that way, so you can go ahead and buy a can of plasti dip and simply brush it in. This is why at the beginning I said it's optional to tape up the lug nuts. For me, on the other side, I just didn't cover them. I just sprayed over so there's an even coat. There's no harm in it. Now after you're done, pop in some center caps and nut covers and you are done. If you take your time, you'll have a smooth matte finish and the wheels look like they were painted professionally. So as for the $30 I mentioned, $20 went into the black center caps and black nut covers. I bought this kit on Amazon for about $20. The center caps and covers feel pretty good, so they should last. I have this linked in the description of this video and also pinned to the first comment. Now as for the plasti dip, I found I used one bottle like this per side, so I ended up using 2 bottles. You can find these everywhere, at Walmart, automotive stores like AutoZone, and even home improvement stores like Home Depot. They run about $5 to $6 a bottle, and you'll need at least 2. If you wanted to get it on Amazon, you can as well, but it's a little bit more pricey. I'll have it linked in the description and in the comment as well. Alright guys, so I'm going to finish up the other side. I'm about halfway through, but it's getting dark, so I want to end this video. There's a couple things I want to mention. Number one is, if you're not familiar with plasti dip, look it up. It's not spray paint, so those of you guys that are thinking, oh, you just ruined your wheels, that's not the case at all. So plasti dip is more like aerosol rubber. So once you spray it on there, it dries, it becomes like a rubber film. And it's a really tough rubber film. I had it on my previous cars and they lasted years without ripping off or anything like that. So once it hardens, it's really tough. And also what's great is, if you don't like it, you can simply peel it off. Yes, it's not like spray paint, it's not on there forever. You can simply peel it off. The key thing is, spray heavy. Make sure you have a lot of coats. It goes against conventional wisdom where you think, oh, the more coats you have on there, the harder it is. No, actually, the more coats you have on there, the easier it is to just peel off, and it just comes off like a rubber coating. So it's really nice. So that is what plasti dip is. If you're not familiar with it, go look it up. There's plenty of videos on YouTube. A lot of people dip their entire cars with it. It's really nice, especially for wheels and emblems. If you want to black out your emblems, you could do that as well. So with that said, if you didn't like the results, let's say you like the alloy color better, the regular metal better rather than black, right? You could always peel it off, or you could simply put back on your Gemini hubcaps. It's that easy. You don't have to remove anything. Just pop it back on and away you go. The metal ring around will be black, but that's not a bad thing. So you could always choose to do that as well. So what do you guys think? Do you like the black wheels better? I think it completely transformed the exterior of my Model Y. Now it looks very different from all the other Model Ys I see on the road. And this applies to Model 3 too. I know Model 3 also have hubcaps that you can remove, so it applies there as well. So do you guys like it, or you don't? You like the hubcaps on, or do you like hubcaps off but without being black? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and also make sure you subscribe because I have a lot more videos about the Model Y coming up, my next one will be interior accessories. Yes, I purchased probably $1,000 worth of accessories for the interior. There's a lot of little things, so I plan on installing them and showing you guys and telling you which one works, which one doesn't, and so forth, right? So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future videos about my Model Y. And to check out my other cars that I review that are not Tesla related, but make sure you subscribe either way and hit that notification bell. Stay tuned for my next video. Take care. Bye-bye.